Interesting dream here. Last night I was very tired. I prayed very hard to God to let me have a good night's sleep, and He did. So I woke up this morning with my children and kind of got them settled and stuff, and my wife was making breakfast, and I felt a little bit tired, but in general I was very well rested. So I went back to start reading the Bible, and I dozed off, and I got three incredibly fast dreams, one after another. They're all the same, but they had things added to them. So these are, okay, I'll tell you the story first. So in my dream, I was walking down a street and I saw people running everywhere, and I start looking left to right, and I'm going, what's everybody running from? And then I hear kind of a bizarre noise, like almost like hooves, and I turn around to see what I guess in this part of the world we call a centaur, but in another part of the world they're called pengu, or sorry, chimaera. So what it was a man's upper body on the body of a lion, but instead of having skin, it was the lion's skin all the way up to his neck, and then he had like a human head. And I was freaked out. Like, there was three regular lions, but there was these two chimaera slash whatever you want to call them, sphinxes, running at me, and I freaked out. So I start running. Holy man, what's going on? Everybody's just scared, and they're like almost taunting us the way they were yelling at us. And then there was this massive flash in the sky, and just as they were about to pounce on us, and we were standing at a door we couldn't get in, boom, they were turned into humans too. And we're like, what? And they were shocked. Like, they're like, why are we humans now? So we're trying to get in this door, and we're pulling and pulling, and we couldn't get in. And that's when these five lion people, whatever, said, don't worry. And they put their hand on the door, and we got in. And then the word mark of the beast popped into my head. And I'm like, what? So we run into this building, and we go all the way downstairs, and we get to kind of a warehouse area, and we're hiding, and we hear these things coming after us. So all of a sudden the power goes off, and it was just weird. So as we were running down these hallways to get to this warehouse area, I ran by a bunch of women praying, and there was like a Hindu god, like doing, I don't know what you call it, when they put their legs are like this, and I run by this blue woman, Hindu god, and she looked and blinked at me, and I'm like, what? And I kept running, and we just ran all the way down to these hiding places we got to, and pretty much that's the end of the dream. So I wrote down a bunch of random words like lions, chimaera, Hindu gods, women, power off, mark of the beast, city, and hiding. And I'll give you the rundown, and other things came to mind as I was doing this. So I wrote lion. This is a lion in a dream can be a symbol of both the devil. If it's the devil, it's a Psalms 10:9, or it could be a symbolism of Jesus, which is Psalms 17:12. And what the lion does determines the meaning. And if the lion is an intimidating and aggressive, well, it's obviously symbolic of a spiritual enemy in your life, which is 1 Peter 5:8. So these are what they stand for. So the 10:9 is if the lion creatures are bad. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He does catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. If it's a good one and he's acting good, then it's like a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Oh, my really loud neighbors are out, so you're going to hear some yelling in the background. And then finally, if it's an intimidating and aggressive natured lion beast, which it definitely was in this one, that one is attached to 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walks about seeking who he may devour. So then I tried to find this chimaera word, and I was really, I don't know why, I had it in my head that it was for sure chimaera. So I found a chimera in the Indian culture is called chineras, half man, half horse, half beast. In the east and in the west, it's called a centaur. So Pengu was the closest thing. And by the way, if you search up hybrid in the Bible scriptures, you're not going to believe what you find. I must have found between 50 and 100 different beasts. Now I know why God did the flood. I mean, it's one thing to read the Bible and not know what they're talking about. I ask all my followers, take the time to go do this research. You're not going to believe. When they say every creature was changed and, turned evil, wait till you read about them. I mean, every type of man, human, fish, you name it, they're named. So anyway, I went with Pengu because a sphinx, the real sphinx is a woman's face on a lion's body, and it has wings. So here I said the sphinx, the Pengu as they say it, the head of a human body the head of a human and a body of a lion, and the meaning from where to start your research in the heavens. So the Sphinx is actually not what you think. When you look up the Sphinx, you're going to find stuff like horoscopes and all sorts of other studies. And the Sphinx symbolizes where you start astronomy and you look up to the skies, which is a Psalms 19:1-4, which is actually talking about the firmament. So Psalms 19:1-4, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork. Day unto day utter speech, and night unto night shows his handiwork. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them he has set a tabernacle for the sun. Now, this kept popping in my head. Even in the tribulation, God will test the wicked. And I wrote hybrids, because this was popping into my head as I was doing this research. And if for those who don't know what the Nephilim are, whenever I say hybrids, and I had a dream about this a little while ago, we're talking about the Nephilim bloodline. There are two bloodlines, Adam and Eve and the Nephilim. If you don't know this, I'll continue this on another video, but in a nutshell, the Nephilim are the half-divine, half-human bloodline of the angels. Fallen angels, by the way. Okay, so to continue, I saw Hindu gods in this dream. To see a Hindu god in your dream is a symbol of someone who is filled with the influences from the east, which is in Isaiah 2:6. Therefore thou hast forsaken the people of the house of Jacob, because they be replenished from the east and are soothsayers, like the Philistines, and they please themselves in the children of strangers. And I continued reading after, and I was led to Isaiah 2:8. Their lands also is full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands, that which is their own fingers have made. Now you have to remember that we all know that the true God of the world, of this universe, he gives us our salvation by grace. This is an example of the Hindu gods, and it's a falsity, and they go by their works and how to earn their way into whatever their version of heaven is. So I saw a few women in this dream. Moving on here, I saw a few women in this dream when I was running down the hallway, and we know that woman is attached to Genesis 2:18. I shall make you a helper. Lord said it is not good for a man to be alone. I will make him a helper. So in this case, these women were praying to a false god, because the god actually was there. At first I thought it was a statue when I ran by, but she blinked at me, so I don't know what that means. So we went into a hiding part when we got down to this warehouse, and I looked up hiding, and it's symbolic of a prudent person, which is a Proverbs 27:12. Can also be symbolic of being fearful. A prudent man foresees the evil and he hides himself, but the simple fool pass on or are punished. So I remember in my dream, before we got to this building, there was a flash in the sky, and I couldn't find anything. So I was looking for flash of light, I was looking for transformation, but I was led in an article to Micah 7:18. Listen to this. Who is a God like you, pardoning iniquity and passing over transgression? For the remnant of his inheritance, he does not retain his anger forever, because he delights in the steadfast love. So our God, during a tribulation, even the wicked that might come out of the ground or wherever they're coming from, the giants and all that, he might actually transform them, maybe back to humans, to give them a chance. So again, I'm unclear on this. This is just what I saw in my dream. So I decided to look up the mark of the beast. Like, what does the Bible say about this? And I knew it was in Revelation, so it was attached to Revelations 13:17. So we were not able to get in that building without the help of those lions turned into humans. And by the way, they turned into 2 men and 3 women. So that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark of the beast, or the mark, which is the mark of the beast or the number of its name. So that was interesting, because we were not able to get in that building. And it was actually the ones that were the 3 lions, the women, they're the ones that opened the door for us. So maybe that's why I had women in here besides the one I saw, because they did help us. And the minute they were human again, they were terrified of what was coming. Forgot to mention that. And then finally, city was the last word I found, and it was in ruins. Like, everything was just ruined. We were running. It's weird. At the beginning, I was walking in a normal city, and within seconds, it was in ruins. So I wrote city in ruins. If the city is being torn down or is in ruins, it's symbolic of wickedness, which is a Proverbs 11:10 and 11. When it goes well for the righteous, the city rejoices, and when the wicked perish, there is a shouting. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted. It is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. So there you have it. That's the dream I had. Like I said, the first time I had it, I tried to ignore it. I kind of rolled over. I had the exact same dream. And then the third time, the exact same dream. Number 3, that's the number of God. That's one of his favorite numbers. So 3 is a confirmation. I had to do this video. Hopefully this touches one of you. One of you will know what to do or make of this. I ask God and the Holy Spirit to give us discernment on this dream for whoever it is that can interpret it properly. I ask for all of you to take it to prayer, see what you can figure out with this. It just seems lately that my dreams are never for me, they're always for someone else. So I hope God gives you the confirmation, whatever you guys are looking for, and have a wonderful day. As you can see here, if you look around here, we have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm going to be going to sit in my little hot tub here and enjoy the rest of my day in prayer. Guys, have a wonderful day. I love you all. Bye.